So hello everyone, welcome to the first part of the array playlist in C language. So in this video, I will taught you about array from the beginner level in C language. Okay, so this is the first video in the playlist of array, and in this playlist, I will taught you all the concepts of array, 2D array and multidimensional array, and then I will also taught you about pointers with array and many more concepts related to pointer and array. Okay, so let's start this video. So first of all, we have to understand what is the use of array concept and why we use it in any programming language. Okay, so let's start with a situation. For example, if there are 20 students, or you can say that if there are 50 students or even more than that, and you want to check how many students have passed mathematics, or you have to retrieve all the data like the marks in maths, in physics, in and in all the subjects. So for that you have to write the program, and in C language you have to write every time printf and then enter marks of physics. Okay, and then scanf to take value, percent %d formatted specifier, and variable name, any variable name which you have taken. I am not declared here, but when you will declare, you can use any variable name. Okay, for example phy. Okay, so for example there are more than 50 and 100 students. Okay, 100 students. So you have to write this printf, enter marks of physics or any subject, then scanf. These statements you have to write for each and every student and for each and every subject. Okay, so for example, if the total number of students is 100 and the total number of subjects is 6, so you have to write 600 lines of printf and scanf. So total 1200 lines. So the 1200 lines of code will be occupied by only printf and scanf, and other lines of the code will be executed from other than these two statements. So it is very lengthy, and it is not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible to write such a lengthy code and that much amount of statements for such a simple situation. So for that, uh, array is developed. Okay, so what is array? It is a collection of similar data types. Okay, it is a collection of similar data types, or you can even say that similar data elements. Okay, so how array is represented, the syntax of array. Okay, how you can identify that this particular thing written over here is an array. Okay, so the main syntax here is first the data type. Okay, first you have to write that data type of the variable and the array which you have used. Then array name. Okay, and in that, for a bracket, big bracket, you have to declare the size of an array in 1D array. Okay, this is for one dimensional array. Okay, so 20 here, and the size will always be in any numerical form. For example, 100, 200, 300, any integer. Okay, so that can be says as size of array. Okay, for example, int data type, first is data type and then array name. You can declare any array name, for example arry, or uh, depending on the situation. For example, if you want to calculate the total number of elements, so you can declare ele or number. So you have to declare such type of array name, which after some time you see that code, you can relate that particular array name and variables uh, with each other, so that the logic will be clear to you at once, and you have not to waste more and more time to understand this concept which you have written before some time. Okay, so int num and the size, for example, 10. So what this means? It means that the array named num, okay, having size 10, and the data type is int. So how array works now? Okay, so before understanding that, let me give you a scenario, a situation. So similar to this situation where you have to obtain the total number of marks and you have to show them through any website or any portal. But for that you have to write code, and that for that you have to write such a lengthy code, and then the concept of array was developed. So now how array is used? Okay. So for example, if the total number of subjects is 6, 6 is the total number of subjects, okay, and the total number of students is 100, okay. So for each one student, 6 times you have to write printf and scanf, okay. Similarly, for second student you have to write 6 times, because the total number of subjects is same, okay. Then for third student 6 times, and it will be continuing so on till 100 student, okay. And that 100 student will also have 6 subjects, so for that 6 times also printf scanf will be used. So how we can use array is we can use for loop, okay. For loop, you have know that for loop is a loop which you have to which you can use to first initialize that particular variable. For example, a is equal to b, a is equal to 100, 200, any value. Then you have to write the condition, okay. For example, a is not equal to b, a is less than b, a is greater than 400, 500, any condition. And at last you have to write the increment or decrement operator, okay. So what, how this for loop works? For example, if I write I is equal to 5 and I is less than 200, okay, and I plus plus, okay. So how this for loop will work? First the condition here is condition, not this, the initialization here is I is equal to 5. So the value declared in the variable name I is equal to 5, okay. Now the condition is I is less than 200. So this for loop will check each time that I value of I is less than 200 or not. If that particular value of I is less than 200, for example 199, 198, 197, any value which is less than 200, then it will increment the value of I by, okay, because I plus plus means I plus 1, okay. It will increment the value of I by 1 unit, okay. So for example, 199 comes, it will be gone, because 199 is less than 200, okay. It will work perfectly. But when the value of 200 will comes, I is equal to 200, then the loop will break, because 200 is not less than 200, okay. It is wrong, so it will not be continued in the for loop, and the for loop will break, and I plus 1, that is the increment of I by 1 unit, will not be taken place, and the loop will be, okay. So this is all about the for loop, and now here comes through the concept of array. So we can declare for I is equal to what? So first you have to understand that the value which you entered in a particular array is called its element of array. For example, the size of the array is 10. What it means? It means that the index starts from 0 to 9. Here it is a rule that the index always starts from 0, okay, and from 0 it comes to n minus 1, that is the total number of size minus 1. So here the total number of size is 10, then 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. So for that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and till 9, the element memory blocks has been declared, and now in that memory blocks you have to put values from the user. Okay, so the value should be 20, then 22, 23, any value, any random value. Okay, now you should ask how we can enter the value through array. So this is done by using for loop. So we have declared that the memory block in an array, the first one is called lower bound. Okay, it is called lower bound, and the last one is called upper bound. So for in default, zeroth index in an array will always be in a lower bound, and the uh, last block of an array will always be upper bound in an array. So here it is, the concept of array is declared that the first lower bound will always be 0. So in for loop we can declare for I is equal to 0 and I is less than n, because here it is already, uh, I have already said that in an array the total number of elements minus 1 will be the last upper bound. So you have to you have to check in for loop from 0 to 9, from 0 to n minus 1, 10 minus 1. Okay, so in this condition I is less than n, I is less than n, what it means, it means that the loop will continue till n minus 1th element. Okay, and when it reach the nth element, the for loop will break, and the statements and the condition written in that particular for loop will be executed. Okay, so for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, that is the condition, and now the increment or decrement operator. So here I plus plus will be done, because you have to arrange the array in an increment order, in a sorted manner, in ascending order. So in 0, then after filling the value of zeroth index by any value from user, then it goes to the first index, then second index, with third index, then fourth index, then fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and at last ninth index, that is the upper bound, from lower bound to upper bound. So this is an incremental manner. So here I plus plus will be used. Okay, in for loop. Now in for loop, each and every index will come and you have to now fill value. Okay, now the task is being very simple. You don't have to write printf and scanf all the times. You just have to run a for loop. Okay, you just have to write the total number of elements in condition, that is I is less than n, that is where n is the total number of elements, or you can say that the size of the array, and I is equal to 0, that the array will be always declared as the from the 0th index, and at last I plus plus, that will help to arrange all the elements in an array in a sorted manner. Okay, so you have to take value now. So for taking value in C language, we always use scanf. We use gets also, but this is for strings and this is for array. And last, percent %d, because we have declared in integer data type, in data type, so percent %d formatted is specified is used. And at last, and symbol and the name of the data type, and sorry, and the name of the array name. Okay, so here the name of the array, suppose that the array is int arr 20. Here I had already told the syntax of the array, that is first data type, and second the array name, and at last the size of the array. So first is the data type, second is the array name err, and at last the size of the array is 20, and at last a semicolon to declare that statement, and the name of the array is arr. And here the for loop will be continued from I is equal to 0 to I is less than n. So here the value of n is 20. So for I is equal to 0 till I is equal to 19 conditions will be checked. So I is the main variable here. So here in the size arr I will be declared to access each and every individual block, or you can say index of an array, and fill that particular value given by the user in that memory block of an array. We write I in the size, um, in the size here in the scanf. Okay, and at last in scanf we declared by a semicolon. So in this manner all the values will be inputted from the user and then written in that manner, like 18, and then the value will be 29 or any value entered by the user. Okay, so I hope this video is clear to each and every one of you. And one more concept is in the basics part of the array, that for example if you want to access a particular element, you have entered all the values, or you can say elements, in the array. It is placed in a proper manner. But what if you want to take value, or you have to extract a particular value of a particular index? Then how you can do? For example, if you want to know what is the value I have entered, or any user have entered in fourth index, or in sixth index, or seventh index, or eighth index. Okay, so how you can extract that value? So for that, this is even or more simple. You have to just write the data type. So here the data type I have used is int data type, then add a name arr, and then that particular value of index. For example, if you want to declare, if you want to retrieve the data from the fifth index, okay, so just you have to write arr 5, and then is equal to, you have to uh, give the value to that index 5 as 48. Okay, so you just have to write 48 and then semicolon. Okay, in this manner you can give values, or you can say that declared values in individual indexes of an array. Okay, so it will work similarly if you used for loop. Then in a flow, in a flowing manner, all the values is entered. But if you want to add separately some values to separate indexes of an array, like for ninth you have to write this, or for one you have to write this, it's you depending upon your choice. Okay, so for that, this in this manner you can add all those things. Okay, for example, if you want to add to the zeroth index as for 29 28, sorry. Okay, so you just have to write again the data type, then the array name, and then the index, that is zeroth index here, zeroth index, that is lower bound. Okay, and declare the value, that is 28. So in this manner you can declare individual individual index element of an array. So here I have talked about the values which you take from the user, the indexes of an array. But what about the address? In which address all these values will be stored? For example, if you enter any value, for example, if you take any value from the user, so in a particular memory block, in a particular address, that particular value is stored in a compiler. Okay, that depends upon the specifications of the compiler, and moreover dependent upon the type of operating system being used. Okay, so for example, if I write int a is equal to 73. Okay, so in compiler it will create a memory block named a. Okay, and in that particular memory block the value which was stored is 73. Okay, so here some address is also stored. For every memory block there is some address, unique address, which depends upon the type of compiler you used, like 32-bit or 64-bit operating system being used also differentiate also play a vital role in declaring the number, that is the address of a particular variable. So to show value, or you can say that to uh, show value of the variable in the output screen, you just have to write printf and then %d, and at last write the name of the variable, that is a. In this manner, the value of that variable will be printed on the output screen. But what you will do if you want to print the address of that particular variable which is stored being a memory block, okay? So for that you also use %d, okay, and used and a. So here AND operator shows the address of a, okay, but in array some slight changes you may see, okay. So what are the changes? For example, the address which you see in the output screen is 1002, okay. Here in array concept, the first index address will be declared. For example, it is 1004, okay. And now you have to calculate, or you can say that you have to check the rest of the values of all the other elements which you have entered, in which memory block, or you can say that in which address these all are located. So you just have to add the total number of, you can say that you just have to add the address of first index plus the data type size, okay. So for example, here the size of int is 4 bytes, okay, 4 bytes, or it is more preferably called 4 units. So 1004 plus 4, so what will be the value? 1008. It will be the address of the second element, that is the first index, okay. That will be the first index. Then you just have to add 4 again, so it will be 1012. That will be the address of second index. 1016 will be the address of fourth index, sorry, third index. And 1020, that will be the address of fourth index. In similar manner, you have just to, you just have to uh, increment the value of the address of zeroth index by the size of that particular data type being used, okay. So if we use float, then it will be added by 8. If we use double, it will be added by again 8, okay. So it depends upon the data type being used, okay. So this is all about the address, and you can calculate it like uh, address of address of nth element, okay. Nth element, it can be said more preferably n minus 1, because n minus 1 is the last element, not n. So n minus 1th element will equal to the address of zeroth index, okay, plus size of data type being used, and then it multiplied by the total number of elements, or you can say that the size of array, that is n. Here n minus 1 is the last index, that is 9. Here 10 minus 1 is equal to 9 is the last index, but the total number of elements when you will count is always equal to n, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and last 10. So it will be multiplied by n. So this is the formula to calculate the address of each index from the address of zeroth index, that is the address of zeroth index plus size of data type multiplied by that value, that if you want to, for example, if you want to check the address of sixth element, okay. So you just have to write first the address of zeroth index. So the address of zeroth index is 1004. It will b plus, that is addition, plus size of data types. Here the size of the data type is 4, and uh, it will multiply by n. For example, here it is sixth. Okay, so it will be multiplied by 7. Okay, you may ask why 7? Because you can calculate the position, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this is the seventh position. So 1004 plus 4 multiplied by 7. Okay, that will be the size of the sorry, that will be the address of sixth index. So what will be the answer? 1004 plus 28, and the value will be 1032. So what will be this? This will be the address of sixth index, or you can say that seventh position. So in this manner, the address of each and every index can be calculated from the address of zeroth index. So that's all for this video. See you in next video. In next video, I will practice some questions of array, like to find the largest number, to interchange the largest and smallest number, to find the second largest, third largest number, and to interchange second largest and fourth smallest number. Like some data structures and algorithm concept will also be introduced in that part, like of stacks and linked list, heaps. Okay, so this is all for this video. See you in next video. Thank you very much, everyone.